Hey everyone, it's Nicole. Welcome, and also Rue is here too. I think it's around 11 or so. I am getting ready to go out and run some errands, so I thought I could bring you all with me. For those of you who are part of my main channel or in my Discord, you know that I've had a lot of family stuff going on recently. Later this month, I'm going to be attending a party for my sister who was recently diagnosed with breast cancer. So I need a dress. I saw some stuff on Torrid. I'll put a picture right here that I had liked, but it was like $60 or something. And I honestly would rather not spend $60 on a dress. So I am planning on going to Walmart and Goodwill to see if I can find something in those places. So I fully recognize that I should have gotten a tripod. I didn't feel like doing that.
I don't apologize because I never make, mistakes.
For those of you who have watched the book content, you know that I am very much a Kindle and Audible kind of gal for my reading. I recently got my very first library card as an adult, and I've been really liking taking out books from the library. I've been using Hoopla, and you can't read Hoopla. This damn thing doesn't want to come out of this. You can't read Hoopla books on a Kindle, so I've largely just been using the Hoopla app on my phone to listen to the audiobooks on there. With all that's going on with Amazon and billionaires and all that kind of stuff, I kind of wanted to see what my options were for leaving the Amazon ecosystem for my reading. And I've really been enjoying Hoopla. I also just got a library card yesterday for another library in my, general local area. And that one gives me access to books on Libby books. And so I've just been kind of going over my options. Because I've been using things, I've also been looking to see what my other options are as far as buying ebooks and audiobooks from other platforms. So anyway, long story short, I have quite a few Kindles that I have. I have the Kindle Scribe, that's this one here. This is the little pen it came with. I also have, where did I just put it? And then this is the Kindle Oasis. I love the Kindle Oasis. They don't make this one anymore though, so I actually got this one used last year on top of these. I also have a Kindle Color Soft. So I'm planning on returning these to Amazon because honestly, it's kind of ridiculous having 3 Kindles. I honestly only really use the Color Soft and the Oasis. This is gonna sound a little crazy, but I use the Color Soft when I'm reading upstairs in bed, and I leave this Oasis down here when I'm on the couch, and this is like my downstairs Kindle, and then the Color Soft is my upstairs Kindle. You know what I mean? I fully acknowledge that's kind of nutty. When I had got this one used, I had one before. I had traded it in to get the Scribe whenever this came out. And I love the page turn buttons on this. One hand reading is fantastic like this. And I usually am like this or like propping it up on something. And I don't love the Scribe. I had originally got this one when on my main channel we were doing book club. And I had originally planned to write my notes and thoughts in this as I'm reading books. But I'm not doing book club anymore. And as I'm reading things, I don't really write notes anyway. So yeah, between not using the features and it's really, really big. And I dropped this on my face when I was reading last year. And I had a bruise right here where it fell on my face, and I honestly haven't used it since. I'm toying with the idea of getting a different e-reader that I'll be able to access my library books, my Kindle library, because I have literally hundreds if not thousands of books in my library because I've had Kindle for so long. So yeah, I'm looking into it. I've got a couple in mind, but I'm not planning on buying anything within the next couple of months.
Are you sure about that?
So for now, I'm largely just going to be using my library card for the audiobooks. I feel like I dropped the breast cancer bombshell just quick and then moved on. I feel like I should probably say something. I rambled quite a bit here, so I just want to edit that out and just say my sister caught it super, super early, so prognosis is really, really good. So for those of you who pray, we would appreciate the prayers. For those of you who don't pray, good thoughts, positive thoughts, all the thoughts would be lovely. And I found out about what was going on with my sister the exact same time my uncle and my aunt had passed away. So I've had the past couple of weeks to kind of come to terms with it, deal with it, kind of doing that on top of the fact that My parents are also moving. So on top of like funerals, we've been trying to get my parents situated to the point where we can get them moved, and then the cancer got thrown in. And it's honestly been a lot. I don't know what else to say regarding that other than like it's been a lot. I only just realized like this week that because like my sister has it, my aunt passed away from it, that like I, as a person with, you know, boobulas, I need to, you know, go get tested and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know why it didn't even cross my mind until my therapist had brought it up. In the off chance anyone watching has had multiple people in their family with breast cancer, get your ass to the doctor. In positive news, Rue's been doing well. She's fitting in. Oh, this is not going to be big enough. I don't think the box is big enough. I have been so behind on my nail review videos. I bought the Zoya Spring Collection to review. And as you're seeing here, I never even opened it. Okay, but this is gonna work in our favor because Zoya uses like 1,000 little packing peanuts. So we can use these. These will come in handy. It's been going well. The only hiccups we've had is that her past owner had said that Rue was completely housebroken.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
That is not in fact the case. She's housebroken in the sense that if you bring her outside, she'll go to the bathroom, but she's not housebroken in the sense that if she has to go and you don't immediately bring her out, she will go to the bathroom on the floor. So yeah, I'm gonna get to going. I don't know how well I'm gonna vlog in public because like that shit's scary, but like I will try. One of the things that's been going on is that I finally got moving boxes from my parents' house that I left when I moved out to like here. I haven't yet taken these out of my car, so there's no space in the car other than the front seat. Also, it would have been great if someone had told me my glasses had been like incredibly dirty. Don't worry, I'm not driving and recording at the same time. I feel like there not being any room in here just gives me a reason to not do any excess shopping.
Why the f you lying? Why you always lying?
Okay, we have our wallet, we have everything. All right, I will see you all at the next destination. Is this all $3? Try again. Okay, so struck out at TJ Maxx. I'm tempted to stop by Walgreens because the Walgreens in this town is closing next month. But I think that might be too early to get for clearance sales. So I'm honestly not feeling super pumped about, the coloring is way off in this. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna have to fix it in post. I don't think I'm gonna stop at Goodwill. I'm trying to think of where else in this town would potentially, I mean, I guess I could try Kohl's. I don't like Kohl's though. I don't know. So yeah, I think I'm just going to go to the UPS store, pick up, and then grab milk, and then grab lunch, and then just head home. I feel so duh because like I went to Walmart looking for the dress, and I ended up spending $19.14 on t-shirts that I technically didn't need, but they were all $3, and I feel like I can't be blamed for getting graphic tees for $3 each. Okay, so slight problem. Apparently they're closed on Wednesdays and I ordered ahead. So I'm gonna have to call, I guess, tomorrow. But since I'm in town, I just want to mention I live in one of the towns that was the inspiration for Gilmore Girls. I don't know if anyone's watching is like a fan of the show, but I only just found this out recently. Hold on, let me show you something. For Gilmore Girls, does that look familiar to you? Craziness. I only just found this out. Yeah, this is the main part. I also wanted to mention part of my trying to branch out of solely just using the Amazon ecosystem for books. I've also been trying to branch out and visit some of the local small bookstores in my area. I plan on visiting a few more after this one, so like if y'all want to see more of the small bookstores around Connecticut with me, just let me know, because I'm planning on doing it anyway, but I'd also like to make sure people were actually interested in it. I didn't want to leave without doing something to, you know, buy stuff to support. I bought Obsessed with Monsters by Dagmar Avery and Aurora Mars. I have never heard of this book or these authors before. It sounds like, according to the back, someone is gonna have a very interesting time with 5 mystery men in the woods. So I was like,
Damn, what is that, bro?
and then I also got a chapstick, a sticker, and then another sticker. I tell you, whenever they put all that little random stuff at the counter, like, it gets me every single time. Oh, and I forgot, I also got a bookmark, because I usually don't do physical copies, but I figured if I'm going to do physical copies, let me also, let me take off my jacket. Let me also grab a bookmark while I'm at it, since I don't have one and I usually use receipts. But yeah, all that stuff was a total of $35.08. And I think the book might be signed? I don't know. Like, that sure looks like the book is signed to me. I told Wayne that when I got to the ice cream store that they were closed on Wednesdays, and you know, today's Wednesday. He had the nerve to tell me that the first time going to a place that I should have just like gone in there and ordered it just there. And I'm just like, why? Why though? I think I'm gonna try to get at least some of these boxes out so I can at least get my trunk back. I honestly don't know where I'm gonna put everything. So I just finished taking about half of the boxes. I just wanted to show you all. Look at my boots. Don't these just scream Nicole? I freaking love these boots. As you can tell, they're iridescent, but like, they're really, really delicate. You see the stress cracks there? And like, these can't get wet either, so like, I can only wear them at certain times of the year. I forgot I left these at my parents' house. I used to wear them quite a bit. I'm gonna grab one of the boxes, one of the book boxes, and see if I can find space on the bookshelves in here, because I really don't want to have to try to carry the box up the stairs. I have no recollection what's in these book boxes. First up, we have The 12 by Justin Cronin. I freaking love this series. This was, what was the show called? I'll put it here, I can't remember. But I was absolutely in love with the books. I remember I liked the first one more than I had liked this one. Oh dear. I just found the pen to my Kindle Scribe on the floor. Oops. I swear to God, if this messes up my trade-in, I'm gonna be pissed. Too late to send it in now. So I think I'm gonna keep this. Interesting fact, I guess, about me. Hardcovers were my favorite kind of book to buy because I just like the sturdiness of them. But I hate the dust jackets that so easily came off. So I used to just take the dust jackets off and just leave the books like this. And as you can tell, I lost the dust jacket. Let's see. Next we have Dress Your Family in Corduroy and Denim. I don't think this is my book. Oh my gosh! This is a Sony e-reader. I think this might have been either one, if not my first e-reader, one of my first e-readers. Look at that! Holy smokes! And look, it's so old that like it has a little light because the screen didn't light up back then. I can't believe it. I mean, I shouldn't not believe I still, I'm not the best at throwing things away. Yeah, this was before I switched to Kindles. Am I ever going to use it again? Probably not. Am I still going to keep it? Yes. Okay. Next up, we have Reign of the Dead Apocalypse End. Once upon a time, I was very heavy into post-apocalyptic anything, be it zombies, vampires, whatever. If the world was gone and dead things were hanging out, I was in it. So keep. The Riverside Reader. Oh, this must have been from college. Ooh, Grey Walker. This was a really fun series. It was, this chick basically has, she's a detective, if I remember right. She has a near-death experience. And when she wakes up from this near-death experience, she can see ghosts, but she can see like this world behind our world called the Grey. And she can basically peel back layers of the Grey to see what our world looked like, you know, 10 years ago, 100 years ago, 200 years ago, and she kind of can just like walk between the worlds. So it's really, really good series. And also she has a pet ferret. And like the ferret goes with her on like adventures. Stephanie Meyer, New Moon. Keep pile. Oh my gosh. It still smells delicious. We have Manifest, Young Women, Feminism, and the Future. I know I got this as another one. Like, I used to just go to bookstores and just kind of walk around and just like come across something like, oh, that sounds interesting, and grab it. I don't know. I'm gonna put this in the donate pile because like I think I read it one time and I don't remember anything in it, so it's obviously wasn't that memorable. Michael Crichton next. I know I read this because I went through a phase for a little while where I read a ton. I'm gonna put it in the donate pile because like Chronicles of Narnia, and look, I'm actually not going to keep this because I'm not that big of a fan of the Chronicles of Narnia, to be honest. Ooh, Lilith St. Crow. This was the Dante Valentine? Yeah, Dante Valentine series. This was another, I love this series. This was in my like urban fantasy time. I don't remember it well enough to explain it. I just remember a really sexy like devil demon-y guy and like killing stuff. And I remember not liking book 5, but I liked the series as a whole. But one of the books, I think it was the last one or the second to last one, I didn't like. But I'm going to keep pile. Laurel K. Hamilton. We're going to have a lot of these because I have a lot of the early books. This is from the Anita Blake series. So when I got into reading this series, I heard so many people saying how fantastic this series is. So I kid you not, I bought the first like 9 or 10 books in one go without like knowing anything about the series. It's probably my absolute favorite book series ever. So this one is about Anita Blake. She is a animator, so she raises the dead for a living. She lives in a world where vampires exist, werewolves exist, like all of the things exist, and the public does know about them. She also has like a side gig where she works with the police department, solving crimes basically that feature like a supernatural, be vampires, werewolves, whatever. It's one of those series that book 1 is like detective, vampire, whodunit. Book 30 kind of comes back to that kind of style, but around like book 10 or so, it changes from like, you know, detective whodunit into like okay, we have The Way of the Shadows by Brent Weeks. I don't remember this at all. I'm kind of tempted to keep it just to see what it's about, because like I have no recollection and it doesn't feel like I read this. I'm gonna put this in the keep pile and hopefully maybe come back to it at some point. All right, Richard Lehman, After Midnight. Richard Lehman's another one that I went through a phase of just like reading all the books. I don't remember liking this, so I'm not keeping it. Story of O. Here's a little overshare moment. I was trying to find like books that like were BDSM heavy, and someone recommended me this. I can't say what this, like what happens in here. I wouldn't say I recommend this. I swear, when I was trying to find like BDSM books and things, people recommended to me wild.
Right to jail.
J.R. Ward, Dark Lover. So this is the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. I was kind of up and down with this one. I didn't dislike it, but I didn't love it either. They're coming out with a TV show for this on like some romance streaming service. But here's the thing. When I read this book series, I thought everybody was black. Huh? So like imagine my surprise when I'm seeing the stuff for the movies and they are not in fact black. But like I distinctly remember everybody in here being black. And like when I saw the pictures of the actors that they cast for the show and they were not in fact black, I called my sister immediately. I'm like, Lee, Black Dagger Brotherhood, were they black? And she's like, yes. And I'm like, that's what I thought too, but they're not in the show. I haven't seen anybody talk about this or be like, why the hell are they white? Or at least white passing. So like, I have to imagine that like, this is one of those cases where you just make up what characters look like. And I made everyone black. I don't think I'm gonna keep this because like, I read the first three or four books maybe. I think when I started this series, maybe book 5 was out. Like it wasn't. Oh, look here. This is how many were out. And now there's like 20, I think. But like, I didn't like this series enough to continue it. So I'm gonna not keep it. Oh, this is an interesting one. So William W. Johnson, this is an author. His most famous works, is, from what I remember, are like country western kind of books. But he also did some horror stuff. And I remember really, really liking there was this particular one was like 3 or 4 books, and they all have like these kind of names, like the Devil's Touch. It has names like this. And I remember really, really liking these a lot, but like I had a really hard time finding these because I bought these used. When I went looking for them, they were all out of print, and so I had to buy them used. I'm sure you guys know my anxiety level at buying used books. Like what I used to do way back when is I would buy the book, bring it outside, and spray the shit out of it with Lysol. And that was like the only way that I was able to like hold the book and read the book. And like I would do this, like I'd flip the pages like so the reason for that is when I was in like middle school, high school, somewhere around there, I found out that someone I was in school with was we were talking about books, and like they would bring their book, like their library books with them into the bathroom. So while they're taking a dookie, they would be reading the book sitting on the toilet. And once I heard that, I couldn't like go to the library anymore. I couldn't touch a used book anymore. Because like I was just thinking about how many like potential people picked up that book, went into the bathroom, took a dump, read the book while taking a dump, you know, wipey, and picked up.
You're absolutely mental.
So yeah. So when I said earlier in the video that I was super excited to finally have a library card for the first time as an adult, I haven't had a library card since I was a teenager. Like that was the thing that got me to no longer be able to handle going to the library anymore, because I just couldn't, my brain could not handle it. Oh look, here's another one. We got another one of the Devils thing, keeping this too. So yeah, I like to think that I've made a lot of progress on my anxiety levels since like like almost all the books on these shelves, like these are for the most part Wayne, only a couple of the shelves are actually mine, but like the majority of the books on these shelves are all like used books, and I don't have like a heart attack touching them. Another Lola K. Hamilton, keeping that. Ooh, The Rising, Brian Keene has so many really good zombie series. Is this the one with the smart zombies? Holy shit, the print is tiny. Wow. You know you're getting old when you're looking at the font in a book. You're just like, what's that say? Perks of Being a Wallflower. I read this so many times in high school. They also made a movie about this. I think it was like the early 2000s, 2010s maybe. The ending is gut-wrenching. Like, what the f? The ending will like rip your heart out, but it's such a good book. So you remember earlier I'd mentioned some books that I had gotten because people had recommended me them in the—
So y'all need to hide your kids.
I give you Anne Rice's Sleeping Beauty series. I did not like these. I did not like them one bit. I just realized I was flashing boobs at y'all. We have to blur that out. Sorry. I see more Laurel K. Hamilton and Anita Blake books, and then another William W. Johnstone, also keeping. Ooh, James Herbert, The Fog. The book is really good. The movies were also really good as well. Okay, we found the other Lilith St. Croix for the Dante Valentines. We found more of them. Jonathan Nassau, The Girls He Adored. I'm pretty sure they made a movie out of this. Okay, and that's the danger of recording on your phone. I got a text message and then it went all haywire. Keith Ablow. This is Frank Clevenger is the series, if I remember this right. I had initially picked this series up when I was in maybe middle school or high school. Like I was young enough that like my parents were still bringing me to the bookstore to get books. And this was in like the age bracket where like I was young enough where I should, yeah, this is, and then, oh, paperback is 1998. So I was 13 when this came out. This was a time period when I definitely should have been reading age appropriate books, but like I loved reading from a young age. So I was very much in the mindset of like, I can read an adult book and I only want to read adult books. And like, I want like the most scandalous adult books that I could find. And I came across the Frank Clevenger guy. The series as a whole, not great. Looking back at it, like Frank Clevenger, he's like a forensic psychologist or something like that. And he has like a drug problem. He has a penchant for strippers and things like that. Super, super titillating to 13, 14-year-old Nikki, for sure. 40-year-old Nikki is looking back and just like, this was not age appropriate at all. I am going to keep it just because like I just remember being like a young teenager and just being absolutely in love with the series because it was just so scandalous to me. All right, we have Mike Cole, Shadow Corp's Breach Zone. I remember reading quite a few of these, but I'm gonna put it in the not keep because like I don't remember liking them that much. Greg Isles? True Evil. I don't remember this at all. My old copy of Catcher in the Rye, I'm keeping this. This used to be in my bag. Like even if I wasn't actively reading this, I would keep this in my purse and I'd walk with like multiple books. Yes, I was that person. I would not leave the house without at least 2 books and a journal and a Game Boy. All right, Strange Angels, Kath Koja? I don't remember this at all.
To say it, I hope I don't sound ridiculous. I don't know who this man is.
I Am Legend. As you can see, this is the copy from when the movie came out. This book is the biggest catfish in the world. The actual I Am Legend in this is actually only this part here. The rest of this, other stories.
Oh man, hey.
If you've seen the movie, don't expect the movie from the book. They're 2 very, very, very different things, completely different vibes, completely different characters, some very slight similarities, and the ending will just have you being like, what the actual hell? The original book was originally written in the 70s, if I'm remembering correctly, and I think there is also a movie that's more accurate to what the book has. I remember watching it and not being terribly impressed by it. I'm keeping it. Even though I hated it. Let's see, Black Blade Blues. I don't remember if I ever read this. I'm gonna keep it though. I don't think I actually ever read that one. More Keith Ablow, more Frank. Suki! Dead Until Dark. I think I have the first couple of books in this series in paperback and then I switched to ebooks. So I bought this. You see F. Paul Wilson at the bottom. F. Paul Wilson's another one of my favorite authors, and I bought this just to read the F. Paul Wilson thing. I feel like I've talked about F. Paul Wilson many, many times. I can't remember if I've done it in like a video before. F. Paul Wilson has this series called Secret History of the World. It features probably well over 100 different works. It's like a series within the series. So like the standout series within the Secret History of the World is going to be the Repairman Jack series, which is another one of my favorite series. So the Repairman Jack books, I think there's like just under 20 of those if I remember right. This is a non-spoiler thing. As I mentioned, this is my favorite series and I got very sidetracked on explaining what it is. For the Repairman Jack series as a whole, that series is basically about this guy named Jack from New Jersey. One day he decides that he doesn't want to be part of like society as a whole, just does not. He just kind of works on the fringes and he's basically like a mix or fix it guy. He doesn't fix like dishwashers. He fixes people's lives and things, and he basically spends his entire life like on the fringes of society, kind of like disliking like governments and anyone that like would take away his own personal freedoms. Kind of very libertarian vibes, to be honest. For each job that he does for the fixes, he kind of gets caught up in this kind of massive war, for lack of a better word, that he wants nothing to do with, but like the jobs he keeps fixing keeps ending up in this big thing, and that's when this massive chess game comes into play. You can read the Repairman Jack series without reading the Adversary Cycle before or any of the books that came before that one. Out of all of the books for the Secret History of the World, I would say I found the Repairman Jack series much more enjoyable. There's also a couple of standalones that were released in the past like handful of years that were also pretty good. More Anita Blake, so we keeping. And then 30 Days of Night. I got this because I had really enjoyed the movie. Clive Barker. I was never really a huge fan of Clive Barker books, to be honest. I'm going to put that in the box. I don't remember that at all. Othello also going in here. Kim Harrison, Dead Witch Walking. This is another really good series. If you like urban fantasy books, you know, vampires, werewolves, witches, all the things. A new book came out last year. I'm pretty sure there's another one coming out this year. This is one series, like I automatically buy all of these because it's one of my favorite series ever. My only complaint is like the last 3 books. So books like, I don't know, we're close to, if we're not on book 20 already, we're very, very close to 20. All of the problems that we were trying to solve in starting here, we solved them like 3 books ago. And I feel like we're in cash grab territory, to be honest.
You know, that's just my opinion.
Everybody got an opinion. Everybody got something to say. Everybody.
And like, it's a pity because like I'm still actively really enjoying the books. We solved all of our problems. We got a fun little like future look at all of the characters to see everyone's like happy, alive, and well, the ones that didn't get killed. Everyone's like happy, alive, and well in the future. So I thought that was gonna be the final book in the series. And so like now we're like starting new problems. It feels like we're in cash grab territory, but I'm still actively really enjoying the book. So like I'm not gonna complain too much. But anyway, for this series in particular, this one features Rachel. She is a witch in Cincinnati, and she is now roommates with a living she's a living vampire, so she can like go out in the daylight, and she doesn't need to drink blood, and a pixie. So the three of them are living together in an abandoned church. So basically in this world, humans are outnumbered by the supernatural species. Either in the 1960s or 70s, there basically was an issue where a tomato basically caused a near apocalypse and killed off the human population. And in order to save like the world, witches, vampires, elves, all of the things, we're like, hey, we exist. We're gonna save you, humans. It's such a fun series. It's one of those series where you'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll curse the author, you'll like, yes, yes, you'll feel all of the things with this series. There's one character that died several books ago that like my heart was broken. To this day, like it hurts thinking about that character dying. I don't know how many of the paperbacks I have of this series, but I have every single ebook. Last two, City of the Dead, Brian Keene. Was this the one where the dead were smart? This might be just the sequel to the last Brian Keene we had, but keeping it. And then Jonathan Nassau, 27 Bones. I think I read this when I was in my like weird like serial killer police drama stage. I think I'm not gonna keep this though because I don't remember. I remember reading it. I remember it was a whole series, but I don't remember, like I don't think I'm gonna reach for it again. Great Expectations also going in the not keep pile. So I just got that first all that stuff put away. Just went and got a second box. I thought initially that all these weren't gonna be mine, but I just found more Brian Keene and Laurel K. Hamilton, so there's definitely stuff in here that is mine. Talk about a series that started out strong and piddled out to disappointment. More zombies, more Laurel K. Hamilton. Speaking of more shit that I got when some kinky perverts told me, Marquise de Sade.
Right to jail.
Straight to jail. Straight to jail. I'm not keeping this. I don't remember this one. I know I read it, but I don't remember it. Wasn't a huge fan of that one either. Do not ever read this. If you value your sanity, don't ever try to read this. Zombie Survival Guide. We've got Anne Rice. We'll keep that. More Laurel K. Hamilton. More Laurel K. Hamilton. You know, I really wish for this series that they actually had the numbers of the books on the sides here or somewhere. Suke! Suke! I forgot that I have this. So this is issues 1 through 6. Like I almost bought this. They made it, like they re-released it for the 1000th time. When I tell y'all I am a hardcore Animal Crossing fan, look at this. This is like a little book of all of the items from the 3DS version. And my ass tabbed it. If I remember right, I got this when I was like deep into vampire stuff. And I had never read the classics, so I was like, oh, I should probably read the classics.
No, don't like that.
More zombies. Oh my god. My school yearbook. Oh my god, look, when I graduated from the DARE program. I'm not gonna get rid of the yearbooks. Alright, more Laurel K. Hamilton. I remember reading this in like high school maybe. I don't remember if I liked it. Oh, and look, another Grey Walker book. Scott Sigler, Contagious. I bought this birthday card for my dog for her 2nd birthday. I bought her a birthday card. Girl Interrupted. I was obsessed with this series when I was in high school. Or book, it's not a series, book in high school. I'm not sure how long this video is going to be edited. I think I have like over an hour worth of footage. So I'm just gonna cut it off here. Thank y'all for joining me for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. There's probably gonna be another one of these videos of me going through boxes because I have to get through all my gaming stuff next. If you are new to the channel, you like me, you like my dog who's got 3 ears, subscribe. Have a great weekend, folks. Bye.
When I get high, I ain't looking at the
clock, still ballin' like Bron. Yeah, I'm headed to the Bucks, then I'm ballin' like yeah.